All right, it's fucking lit, boys. Here we are. We're calling this show, this little show we have here, we're calling it, what are we calling it? The Pix Pod. That's just a placer name right now. We haven't really had any serious discussions about what we want to call it. I am joined here with, I'm here with DJ Chili Beans, which you guys might know from a little show we started years back, many moons back. It was called Z Pix. And we had this show on YouTube for a while, and we had a pretty good following, a couple hundred people. And then we stopped doing it, and we wanted to bring it back. I was like, let's do a fucking instead of a movie review show, which everybody has, let's do a fucking podcast. Like, let's have some real fucking discussions out here. So I'm fucking excited. I know Chili Beans is excited. You excited, Chili Beans?
Yes, I am, sir.
Yes, I am, sir. I hope you guys can hear Chili Beans all right. I'm messing with his audio a little bit to see if we can get him in here a little bit louder. But so hopefully you guys can hear him just fine. And all right, Chili Beans. So we're talking about the Black Panther. Before I get into all the crazy fucking social media shit that I want to get into, I just want to do a quick review of the movie and what we thought about it. So I'll start off. First off, I fucking loved the movie. I thought the movie was awesome. I thought it was one of Marvel's best movies. By far, it between Andy Serkis and Michael B. Jordan, it hands down has the best villains ever in a Marvel's movie. Like, these are two guys. They're fucking phenomenal. I mean, I don't know what to say about it. And they're smart and clever, and they have reasons to be doing what they're doing. They're not just bad just to be bad. They actually have a reason for what they're doing, and there's like this whole backstory, and like you get emotionally attached to these guys. Like, I felt bad for these guys, and like especially Michael B. Jordan's character, and I like found myself rooting for him almost. Like, I'm like, damn, like, this guy, he has this awesome backstory. It makes you feel bad for him. You almost want him to win. So, I don't know. What'd you think about the movie, Chili Beans?
Uh, I'm not. I'm not as impressed with it as you are. It failed to draw my attention because I kind of as I was watching it, I kind of knew what was going to happen. Like,
Yeah, that's the problem with all the Marvel
their
movies.
subtle hint wasn't too subtle, and um, it has some funny parts to it, but I mean, other than that, I had to take a break halfway through the movie.
No, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I had to take a break. I had to. It was too much. It was too crazy. Yeah. Okay, good. That's honest. So what was it particular that you didn't like beside the not so subtle hints?
It just failed to draw my attention because, like I said, I felt like I was predicting the future, and I called almost 95% of that movie before it even happened.
Yeah, but that's all Marvel movies. You could then, like, based on that, you could say that all Marvel movies are bad. Because you can't tell me one Marvel movie where you weren't like, yeah, this, and this is going to have, like, there's almost like points that every movie hits. Like, there's the hero, there's the rise of the hero in the beginning, then the fall of the hero in the middle, then the rise of the hero at the end. That's every Marvel movie, and the bad guy always fucking loses, except for maybe the first Thor where Loki doesn't really die. He doesn't really lose. I mean, he loses, but technically, he's still in the storyline and actually one of the best characters in the story. And now that I say it, I would have to include Loki in that. Besides Andy Serkis, Michael B. Jordan, obviously there's Loki. Which, Loki, I don't even know if I can say him a bad guy. He's more like an anti-hero. So, whereas like Andy Serkis,
yeah, he's like a Deadpool,
and Michael B. Jordan were like, yeah. And Michael B. Jordan is so good that I almost hope that they do with him what they did with Loki. Like, I'd like to see them turn him into a Loki character where he kind of like repents, but he's kind of still like bad, and he's always fucking with the Black Panther, but it's never like to the seriousness of where like one of them ends up dead. They just fuck with each other, just like because they're cousins. They're blood.
Just like Thor and Loki.
Yeah, they're family.
Yeah, just like Thor and Loki.
So it's like I would love to see them do that. Like, yeah, just keep him in the mix, keep him relevant in the story, and that would be fucking awesome. I will say, there's one scene that it's crammed into my brain and I can't get it out. and it's so bad, and it's so obviously bad, and I cannot just get this fucking scene out of my head. So there's a scene where the sister is using a car hologram, right? And you see her,
Yeah.
and there's like the seat that she gets on. Now this is a real physical seat, and it has a real physical steering wheel. She gets on it before she turns off the hologram. Well, when the car's destroyed and the hologram's destroyed, the fucking seat and steering wheel disappear. What the fuck? Those were real physical objects. She wasn't sitting on the hologram. Why did the seat disappear? What happened to the fucking seat? Like this, it's this great mystery in this movie that like I haven't heard anybody else talk about. Maybe it didn't bug anybody else, like it bothered me, but I'm like, to this day I'm questioning. I'm like, what happened to the seat? I'm just like mystified. I'm like, where's the fucking seat at? Where did it go? It's gone. The seat's just fucking gone. There is no seat. It was not real. I don't know. That scene, that just bugged me. I don't know. Was that even something that you picked up on? Like, were you even like...
No, I didn't even notice that.
Dude, that like, it bugged me to this day. I'm just like, where's that fucking seat, dude?
I just thought the seat and the steering wheel was part of the hologram, and it showed up before everything else did. That's what I thought.
Maybe. But how, can you sit on
if
a hologram?
If it was an actual physical seat. Sure.
Like, it's a hologram. Like, you put your hand through it, you know? It's not physically there. Unless they have some sort of crazy special Wakanda holograms that they can sit on.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's like...
But if that's the point, then why would
story.
any of their vehicles be real? Why wouldn't you just have hologram vehicles? They could do just like crazy shit like anything. It's like transform into anything at the instant, push of a button.
Well, I mean, you remember, like, they had to throw that disc thing onto the car for her to control it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why there was realistic cars.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I'm still like that scene just bugged me. I'm like, what the fuck happened to the seat?
Yeah.
Where did her seat go? Another scene that kind of bugged me at first was like when Michael B. Jordan, and I've heard other people bash him for this, when he's in the museum and he's like, you have all these people watching me, but you don't pay attention to what you put in your body. And then, like, at that instant, she gets sick. Like, she instantly falls down and is sick. And, like, a lot of people bash, like, oh, like, that's not realistic. Like, the timing was too perfect. That would never happen. Which is, it's a comic book movie. So, yeah, there's a lot of instances where timing's too perfect, I just realized I need to pause this or it's going to fuck up the quality. So, yeah, but I was thinking, like, who knows, like, maybe she ate, like, some sort of nanobite and he had a controller in his hand. And right when he said, his line, like, oh, you don't watch what you put in your body, maybe you push the button that activated it, Simple fucking explanation. Stop nitpicking people. Like, it's very simple explanation, especially with their technology, that I could see that's perfectly doable. So, because, like, so many of these shows just, yeah.
But at the time, he didn't have the technology.
Well, we don't know what he had, really. I mean, he was working with Andy Serkis.
No, remember he was...
And Andy Serkis had Wakandan technology already.
He only had the death arm.
He had the arm, yeah, but we don't know what else he had. We don't know what he got out of all that shit with, like, Age of Ultron and all that. I mean, obviously that arm came from somewhere. So, he could have easily had just a simple fucking device. Fuck, the Joker made an explosive device out of a fucking cell phone. Like, this dude has...
Well, I mean, that's all theoretically possible.
Yeah. But my point is, it's just like, it could be simply, explained. And people want to harp on it and nitpick and stuff. And it's like, it's a Marvel movie. And there's a lot of, like, perfectly timed shit in a Marvel movie. Like,
yes.
Just get over it, okay?
Like unreal timing.
Yeah. So I was sitting there, I'm watching the movie, And I just like I had this amazing thought because I know a lot of people are saying like Iron Man's done, Robert Downey Jr. is not coming back after the Avenger movies, which I'm not 100% convinced. I'm not like he makes so much money doing that role. I could see him easily being like, I'll sign another fucking deal. You know, fuck, just back up a couple trucks to my house and dump some money, and I'll do another one. So I'm not sure because this,
Right?
like with now with Wakanda and everything, like they're gonna be. They've decided like we're gonna share our technology with the world. You know, imagine what kind of suit Iron Man can build with Wakandan technology, bro, and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the kind of
I mean,
movies.
Spider-Man is like, imagine a Black Panther suit on Spider-Man.
Do what?
Imagine the Black Panther suit on Spider-Man.
Yeah, with his technology, yeah. Like that's fucking.
Dude, Spider-Man would be a beast.
And that might be that new suit that we see in the new trailer. That might be a Wakanda suit. You know, we have no idea. That could be a Wakanda suit. And like I've heard rumors that like in the new in the first Avengers that Iron Man's suit is going to be part of him. Like it's going to come out through his skin. Like these like they crawl through the pores in his skin, you know, like these little nanobites, and they create his suit. Kind of like the Black Panther. I don't know exactly how all that shit works. I don't want to pretend like I'm smart or anything, but like the Black Panther suit kind of just like manifests itself over the Black Panther, you know. Like the Iron Man suit's supposedly going to be
out
like
of
that.
his necklace.
Yeah. So the Iron Man suit's supposedly going to be like that, the new one. So like I would love to see an Iron Man 4, 5, and 6 with this new fucking technology, man. Like, and Tony Stark and you know, Bruce Banner, they are some smart fucking cats. They could do some shit. Like, that would give me.
Yes, they can.
So I don't know. I don't know. That just hyped me up. Like I'd like to see that come back. I did think one huge flaw. I did think Wakanda was wrong for not helping the world out. Like they could probably, with the technology they have, they could basically like save all of Africa, and like, you know.
Yeah, but I think they made the right call because I mean, how many, you know, dangerous people can get their hands on that and just, you know, make it a badass, incredible suit and just wipe out the earth?
Yeah, make it worse. Yeah.
Like they knew this, like, so that's why they chose to keep it to themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And they was a peaceful people. They didn't look for war.
Yeah, which they explained all that in the movie. But still,
I mean,
man, like you could like cure world.
I don't think that was a flaw.
I don't know. See, I just feel like there's all these millions of people.
While
like,
you're curing world hunger, while you're curing world hunger, you're also providing weapons for, you know, terrorists and stuff that will just devastate cities.
What if? How about this? What if, since they're so smart and they have so much technology, couldn't they find a way to keep Wakanda's secret and help out? Like, would that be too fucking difficult? Couldn't they do that? It seems to me.
Somebody would catch on.
Yeah, and they just fucking kill him. Fuck him, he knows too much.
Come on.
That's basically what our government does.
Tony Stark could figure this out. Like, he's a genius.
Yeah. But now...
And how do you kill Iron Man?
But now at the end of the movie, they're basically like, yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to share our technology and help people. So now it's like, oh, they waited thousands of years and now they're like, fuck it, we're going to help people. You know, like, what the fuck? Why'd you wait so long if you're just going to end up doing it in the first place? I don't know. It was just something that bothered me. So yeah, that's just my piece on it. Uh-oh. What happened here? Did I lose you, Chili Beans? I think I just lost Chili Beans. I don't know what happened. Hang on, let me try to get him back. Chili Beans. We're having technical issues. Anyways. So I'm going to keep going. So, one thing that I was like really curious about. And this, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's because like Michael B. Jordan was so good in that movie. He stood out so well, and I felt like he would have made almost a better Black Panther. Personally, for me, he would have made a better Black Panther than what they used him for as the bad guy. And I just wonder, like, maybe he went in for the reading, and they were like, "Man, this is like a really good opportunity. We already have Black Panther cast, you know. This is a really opportunity to just have like a really strong fucking bad guy." You know, maybe that happened. Maybe they're like, he's too good. Like, we need this. We could have a really strong bad guy, and that, I don't know. Or maybe he just, they thought he wasn't right for the role of Black Panther. Let me try to get Chili Beans back in here. I don't even think he realized he disconnected. I'm just gonna send him a quick check. So yeah, I don't know. Like, again, like, join the discussion. Leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. But like, he was so good. Why not cast him and have him as your returning character as the Black Panther? I don't. It just didn't make sense to me personally. He's super smart. That's another note that I had written down. Is like, he's one of the rare supervillains where he's actually super smart. Like, he's not your cliche villain where he's like gonna monologue his whole plan and all this. He did that a little bit, but the big thing that stood out to me is when he decides to burn all the Black Panther plants, and I'm like, dude, no other. No, he said, yeah, technical difficulties. Chili Beans is having technical difficulties, but when he decided to burn all the Black Panther, all of their shit, I was like, dude, no other Marvel villain would do that. Like, they'd probably keep it and they'd want to harvest it and have their minions take it or some shit. I don't know, you know, some stupid shit. But he knows, like, just in case there's a chance this motherfucker comes back, like, burn them all. Like, I want to be the only Black Panther ever to ever exist again. So he burns all the plants, and I was like, man, that's like a really fucking good idea to have a villain do. I did think it was really interesting how the Gorilla King flipped. I don't know if that, like, helped me like the movie or bugged me and it made me not like the movie. I'm like 50-50 because he comes off as this badass and he's like, I'm not going to help you, blah, blah, blah. But then when it comes down to it, he's just like, he gives the plant to Black Panther instead of taking it himself. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. He just flopped so suddenly. And I was like, okay, like he's showing respect for the Black Panther, basically, is what he's doing in that moment. Like, you beat me in combat, this is your right, so I'm giving it to you. So I think Chili Beans came back, maybe.
Yep.
I'm back, okay. So,
sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. I was just talking about how the Gorilla King flip-flopped and gave Black Panther the plant. And I just thought that was kind of sudden. It was kind of out of context, you know? Like, I was like, oh, okay. But I guess it showed that he had respect for Black Panther, and because Black Panther beat him legit, and that kind of just shows you how much this tribe believes in their traditions, which I guess was the whole point of that.
Yeah,
one thing
I see that. I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You know, like watching the movie, like, you know, when they first fought, I knew later on down the road that he was gonna come back and help Black Panther.
Oh yeah, that was one of those, like,
you could just see it.
That was one of those painfully obvious things, like you were talking about, where it was like, yeah,
the not so subtle hint.
yeah, it was like, yeah, this motherfucker is gonna be back later in the final battle. And, like, everybody knew that. I knew that, and I knew that everybody knew that. And I guess that's why it didn't really bother me. So I'm like, I'm watching it, and I'm like, at this moment, everyone fucking knows that this guy's coming back. You know? Like, there's no way he's not.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't
Exactly.
know. Yeah. So, I don't know. So, I guess that maybe that's why it didn't really bug me as much as some people, because I just had the mindset, like, everybody knows. And I felt like shooting that scene, Marvel was probably going, like, everyone's gonna know this motherfucker's coming back. Like, as they're, like, shooting the fucking scene, they're like, everybody knows. Let's not fucking pussyfoot around this. Like, this.
Yeah, but, I mean, they also try to make it, like, a subtle hint, and it was horrible. Like, it was a horrible way of putting a subtle hint in because like it's been done too many times in a movie.
Yeah.
Like you should have had the Gorilla King say, "Hey, you beat me and you let me live. I'm now going to be by your side." You might as well just have him say something like that.
Yeah, and that whole scene is that scene was way deeper than I've heard anybody else talk about. I haven't heard any other movie review person talk about this, and this is kind of content that I want to bring to this show. Um, that whole scene with the tribes where his father just died and they're like, do you want to challenge him? And they're going by one and they're like, no, I don't want to challenge. No, I don't want to challenge. That those other tribes are representing the world countries. Like, people didn't get that from it. That's what I got from that scene. It's like, those are the world countries, and the Black Panthers like the United States, and, we're like, do you want to fucking challenge us? And they're like, no, we want peace. We want peace. They're getting through, and we want peace. And, of course, there's always two fucking assholes that want to wage war. Like, that's the world we live in right now. There's, like, really, there's only, like, 2, maybe 3 countries causing problems right now. I was like, yeah. Like, that's our world. That's the world we live in right now. Depicted this fucking Marvel scene. And I don't think anybody picked up on it. I don't know. Is that what you took away from that scene?
No, I took away, old tribal traditions, like, because everybody started off as separate tribes, which, like, I didn't look that deep into that scene. But now that you brought it up, it kind of makes sense. Like, is that Marvel's way of saying, hey, this is the world we live in right now,
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like, because there's
was it just a coincidence that it's set up like that?
I don't know, because there's so, like, these movie writers nowadays are so good at putting hidden messages in these scenes and in their writing and shit. They're so good about it. So it's hard sometimes. You just, like, question yourself, like, am I overthinking this? Maybe, like, maybe I'm fucking overthinking this a little bit. I don't fucking know. But that's just.
I mean, it fits. So I mean,
yeah.
Everybody says everybody interprets things differently. So I mean, that's just the way you interpret it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it makes sense.
There was another huge scene that really bugged me. As much as I say I love this movie, there were a couple things that I was just like, "Fuck, man, fuck! Why did you do this? Why did you shoot this?" Like, and the director didn't say anything to you, but his sister, who I thought was a decent actor, and throughout most of the movie, at the very end, there's a scene where she has to turn off Black Panther's suit, and she starts to train and shit, and like she assumes like this is gonna fucking kill him, like she's about to kill her brother, and she has no fucking sadness in her acting whatsoever. He's just like, you know what you have to do, and she's like, okay, flip. See you, motherfucker. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you just killed your brother. And you have no emotion. Like, did you notice that? Was that something that stood out to you?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I was just like, really? Like, there's no, like, really? Like, I can't do this. Like, she was like, okay, beep. I'm like, serious? Yeah. That's your brother, like.
And I've heard.
I know if that was, my sister, and she did that shit. As soon as I was done with that fight, I'd be kicking her ass for being like, "What the fuck?" Wasn't worried. You was like, "Okay, beep."
Yeah, and I like another thing people bash the movie for is the way that Jordan's character went out. They were like, "Oh, it was set up for this huge ending, and he could have lived, and they could have used him in future movies." And I'm still not convinced he's gone for sure for good, because he does have that magical Black Panther shit in him. But yeah, a lot of people bashed the way the movie ended, but I thought it was so fitting. Like, yeah, he could have chose to save himself, but he wanted to die for what he believed in. And that's just a testament to what kind of man he was. And I think that was setting him up to bring him back as a good guy, or as an anti-character, an anti-hero. They wanted to send that last little ditch effort. Like, look, this is a man with pride. This is a man with unwavering standards, and he holds himself to them. And his beliefs are unwavering. And they wanted to drill that home, because I really think they might bring him back. And they wanted us to understand, like, this is a man with pride.
Especially with especially with how it ended when the Black Panther took him out and let him see the sunrise.
Yeah.
Like that to me is like the hero trying to help the bad guy turn good,
Yeah. Yeah. Become
not
the anti-hero.
the final death wish.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's what I took from it. So so yeah, like I thought I just overall I liked the movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was fine. I don't know why people bash this movie that's like so hard the way they do. Um but I like you said, like you didn't really enjoy it that much. So
It was a good movie. It was a good movie. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not trying to bash on it because I mean it was a good movie. It was good on the acting. The storyline could have the writing could have used a little bit more work.
a little
But
tweaking.
overall, I mean, it was a good movie. Yeah,
A little
it was a good
tweaking.
movie.
All right.
Not one of Marvel's best movies,
what's
but
your
you know,
what's your final score? How should we do final scores? We didn't even talk about this, so we might set up some sort of unique, fun system. I guess right now we'll just do a number system out of 10. Does that sound good to you?
out of 10,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
What?
I don't know. For me, God, I want to say 8 so bad, but I don't think I can. I think I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I don't think I can give it an 8. I can't justify that. As good as it was,
Yeah.
it had its
I was
problems.
gonna say 7 as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
I wasn't even thinking 8. I wasn't even thinking 8. I mean, like I said, it was a good movie. It just did not capture my interest. Like I
Yeah,
felt like I've seen this movie before,
yeah, yeah, and
type
like,
stuff, because I knew exactly what was gonna happen. Besides the writing stuff, like it was. I mean, it was a good setup to a series of movies. Just get a little better on the writing.
yeah, yeah,
First movie of the
exactly.
series.
Yeah, it's the first movie of the series. The CGI definitely they could have spent a little bit more money on the CGI. Like I said, there's like 3 or 4 scenes I
Yeah.
went over. I wrote down the scenes that bother me because as I'm watching the movie, I'm like I'm going to like I'm if I don't write down these notes, I'm going to end up like just glamoring on about how good the movie is and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm going to end up doing something stupid like giving it a 9 out of 10. So I was like, make sure I take my notes, what I didn't like about it, what really bothered me, and like give this a fair review. So I did that just to hold myself in check, and that's something I'm going to do in the future. As I'm watching a movie, I'm going to be sitting there taking notes because I watch these other review shows, man, and they're literally they come on and they're like, okay, so I followed this channel for a while. It's called Cinema for Cynics. Terrible fucking channel. I would never recommend it. It's called Cinema for Cynics. And basically their whole gimmick is they like to bash good movies and they like bad movies. That's their whole gimmick. That's who their following fan base is. And so I watch them and just to make fun of them, kind of, and like just laugh at them, like fucking piece of shit. Like how could like they're it's the kind of like reviewer that would call The Godfather bad. But their movie
Oh
reviews,
God.
their movie reviews are like all the other fucking channels that I watch on YouTube, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. First off, we're doing a podcast, not a movie review. Like our future podcasts are not gonna be about movies or anything like games or anything. Like we're gonna have an actual show. But like since this has been such a cultural thing that I want to get into, I was like, this is an actual movie that you could have a podcast about, which is kind of fucking crazy because most movies you can't. But most movie reviews that I watch on YouTube, they come on, they're completely unprofessional, they're completely unprepared. They come on and they go, I thought Black Panther was good, had some issues, but yeah, it was good. And I mean, they basically just keep repeating that, right? It was good, had some issues, but it was good. And you could tell that they don't really remember shit about the movie. Like they don't go into anything specific. They're not gonna point out any shit that you might not have seen. Like Chili Beans was like, I didn't even see that, or I didn't even think of that. And so I'm like, I don't want to be that fucking person. It's just like, yeah, it was good, and it's like a 4-minute, 3-minute review. It was good. You should go see it. And yeah, I said my piece. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching my review. And I'm like, what the fuck, you miserable piece of shit? Like, what? You call that a movie review?
To me, That's not a movie review. You know, a movie review, you gotta critique everything. Like, you just can't say, "Oh, it's a good movie. Go see it."
It
All
was,
right, thank you for watching my channel.
it
No,
it had
like
its
you
issues.
actually gotta get a little in depth.
It had its problems, bruh, but you know, I was digging it. Black Panther was cool and shit, and fuck. Like, what the fuck, dude? Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, those shows should be banned. They're so fucking terrible. That channel's such a piece of shit. Anyways, but okay, so we reviewed the movie. We gave you our thoughts. Now let's get into this fucking crazy cultural shit that's going on. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? First off, okay, so I'm gonna tell you a story, Chili Beans, and I just want you to react to it. This woman tweeted out. This white woman tweeted out, and she said, she's like, "Hey, I don't want to take anything from the black community. When is it okay for me to go see Black Panther?"
What? What? Okay, first of all, how was she able to read the buttons that she was pushing to type this message out? Because obviously she is stupid.
I have no idea. I had no words. But I think my reaction was the same as yours. Huh?
Like,
What?
What kind of stupidity do you have to tweet something like that? Like,
just go see the fucking movie.
Wow.
You're gonna harm the movie by not going and seeing it. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this movie didn't do that well. We probably shouldn't make a fucking sequel." Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't want to take away from the African American culture, okay? Because I'm a privileged white woman, and I don't want to guilt them with my presence.
okay. Maybe you should watch it when it comes out on Blu-ray and just stay home.
Yeah, maybe you should just delete your Twitter account, and I don't know, just hide in a cave somewhere.
Don't ever leave your house. Ever.
Don't ever try to say anything intelligent again. Just understand that you're a dumb piece of shit, okay? Like, and I hate to, I don't know
Don't
this
get
woman.
behind the wheel of a car because
I'm sure
I want to know that my streets are safe.
I'm sure her intentions were good, man. I'm sure they were, but I'm just like, oh god, no. Like, you gotta take. I'm pretty sure it got taken down like 5 minutes after it was posted. Like, Twitter was like, fuck. Like, this bitch is trying to start World War III or the Second Civil War.
Right?
Like, fuck. Take this shit down. Take it down, Bobby. Fuck, delete button. Hell no.
Delete. Where's the delete button?
Fucking Twitter's running
Takes
around.
5
The
minutes to
office
find
is
a
burning
delete
down and shit. They're fucking... Oh god, dude. Yeah, so it's crazy. But then you have the black radicalists, whatever, radicalists, whatever the fuck they are, radicals. You have the black radicals that are like, I watched a couple movie reviews by black people, and they're like, it's the greatest fucking movie of all time. Like, we need more black movies. Like, what? We need more black. We have all. There's plenty of black movies. Do you guys not watch like BET and shit? That's all black movies.
Or like, you know, Training Day or
Like, yeah, there's so many black movies.
Blade.
Like, people are acting like this is the first black movie that's ever came out. There's all those, like...
It's just society nowadays.
Like, there's so many black movies, like I'm just mind blown. Like, just turn on BET. Like, a lot of them are straight to... You know, they're straight to TV, but there's a lot of white movies that are straight TV. But there's also fucking awesome, like Get Out. I would consider Get Out as kind of like a blackish movie, right? The main character is black, yeah. And, you know, it's all about, you know, the slavery and, like, mind control and shit like that. And, like, I don't know, that just blows me away. There's, like, we need more black movies. Maybe, like, better wording would be, like, we need more black comic book movies. Then I could maybe get behind you, like, yeah, there's not a lot of those. You know?
No.
But like hearing like these different opinions of these black people and these white people, and they're on social media and they're doing movie reviews and shit, and like, I'm like, it's a fucking movie, guys. At the end of the day, it's a fucking movie. People didn't call they weren't out in the street saying that Training Day was the greatest black movie of all time and we need more black movies. They weren't out in the streets when Next Friday came out saying that Next Friday is the greatest movie of all time. We need more black movies. It's a fucking movie. What the fuck? Get over yourselves. Whether you're white or black, just get over yourselves. Like, what is the fucking issue here? It blew me away.
Movie. There should be no reason for all this.
I shouldn't be sitting here talking about this right now. Like, I never thought I would ever do a podcast show on a movie. And I didn't even, like, when they were showing like trailers and they announced the movie and they're showing trailers and shit, it never even crossed my mind that people would be talking about this as a racial issue. Never fucking once. I never thought, oh boy, this is gonna be a big cultural thing. People are gonna be talking about race when this movie comes out. Like, what the fuck? I was just like, oh, that looks fucking cool.
Yeah, I just thought, hey, cool, a new Marvel movie coming out.
Yeah, like, what the fuck, dude?
And then you started seeing all this like racial stuff going on about the movie. I'm like, jeez, the movie.
Well, what kills me, okay, and then there's like these other people, these hate bashers, like these people that think they're fucking comedians. They think they're funny. And they go on these podcast shows, their movie review shows with their buddies and stuff, and they're like, man, we were at the movie theater, and like, there was these black people that were dressed up in African garments. Fucking retard. They're fucking stupid. And I'm like, what do you think, when a black person sees your ass dressed up as Wolverine, what do you think is going through their head?
Right?
What the fuck? Like white nerds are making fun of black nerds. I'm like, you're all fucking nerds. Get the fuck over it. Like, what happened to the nerd community when, like, all of a sudden we're divided and, like, what's nerdier? What? We're all fucking nerds. What do you mean? We're all gamers and comic book fucking nerds, and we're sitting here talking about this fucking movie, and you're gonna call out someone for dressing up for a comic book movie when you probably did it 6 months ago when fucking Guardians of the Galaxy came out? Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit's fucking crazy. It's fucking nuts. The people are acting stupid.
And I got one word that solves, or not solves, but explains the whole problem with everything. You ready for it?
Yes.
Facebook.
I almost spit out my water. Facebook. Yeah, exactly. Facebook. Twitter. Like, I mean, we were just talking the other day about the hashtag Me Too people. I'm like, who the fuck are the hashtag to me people? Because that's the way, like, people refer to them. So, like, hashtag Me Too is like the movement of like workplace, like, sexual harassment, I guess, and like rape and stuff. And like, I guess it's a feminist thing. I don't know if males are included in that or not. And I was like, I asked my buddy, I'm like, what the fuck does hashtag Me Too mean? And he's like, it literally just means me too. Like, a woman will, like, tweet out, like, I was raped. And, another woman will be like, hashtag Me Too. And I was like, okay. I was like, oh, I'm a guy. Am I allowed to use hashtag Me Too? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And I was like, well, what if I use it for something stupid? Since it literally just means me too. What if my boy tweeted out, like, I'm going out getting fucked up tonight? And I was like, hashtag Me Too. But then, like, all of a sudden, am I like a misogynistic asshole? Because I'm using that as the literal sense of, like, yeah, me too. Let's go out and get fucked up, bro. Let's hit the streets. And are people gonna, like, suddenly be offended? Like, no, that's our hashtag, Like, that's our, like, hashtag Me Too is our thing. You're not a hashtag Me Too person, so you can't use it.
Makes sense.
And so that's literally the story I told him, and I asked him, and he's like, dude, I don't fucking know. He's like, I don't know what the fucking rules are. I'm just as confused as you are. I'm I'm like, dude, right? Like we're all
Nowadays, yeah.
we're all just a bunch of fucking confused people walking around out here. Like we have no fucking idea what is fucking going on. Like I don't know, because I was talking about it with my buddy, and I'm like, hey, like, sometimes I'll say some shit that might be borderline, like people would say it's offensive in my comedy when I'm writing comedy, or when I'm just like just on a tear and I'm just being funny and shit, just talking and shit. And I was like, sometimes like I look back and I'm like, man, like that could be really misconstrued. And I was telling my buddy that, and I was like, dude, it's so hard nowadays, especially as a comedian, somebody that's trying to be funny. Like anybody that's trying to be funny, you're always going to be walking this razor thin line of where is it funny and where is it fucking offensive, And there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to walk that line. That's it. That's all you can do, is just fucking walk that narrow path and hope that you don't offend someone to the point to where it's like career ending, or like, you don't take it to the point to where it's not funny and people are throwing tomatoes at you.
Yeah. I mean, dude, like, I'm surprised comedy is still alive today.
I know.
With how butthurt people get about subjects. Like, I mean, some subjects will always be touchy with people, but, I mean, this self-identifying stuff now, like...
Well, there's so many problems with the self-identifying stuff, and we're going to do a whole podcast just on that, so I don't want to get into it here. But yeah, that's some shit,
thank
man.
You.
And like, I'm not going to say whether I'm for it or against it here. That's what the podcast show will be. But but what I will say is it's crazy. Whether I'm against it or for it, it's fucking nuts either way. You got to admit, like 30 years ago, if you would have said I identify as a fucking toaster, people would have been put in a fucking mental asylum. But nowadays, if somebody says that, you have to accept it. That's the social norm. But yeah, like I said, okay, now we're getting into it. Let's not get into that. But yeah, so,
another podcast.
So it's fucking crazy. But yeah,
I mean, like, I mean, it just proves the point that comedy is going to get a whole lot harder, because I mean, people just get butthurt over the smallest things, and it's like, for comedy, like, it's to make you laugh, not to upset you.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah,
don't watch comedy.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know, I don't get it. Like, we just live in a crazy fucking world, and people are just like taking this Black Panther thing, like they just elevated it to another level. And I think I heard, didn't I hear it was like the highest grossing movie of all time? Did that happen?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember or not. But yeah, I thought that they said that. Oh, one thing I want to talk about, dude. So like, when the movie came out, and like the reviewers, how they get to see the movie early. They see it like a week early.
Yeah.
And they get to review it. So there was this young writer. He was for like the Washington Post or some shit, like the New Yorker or something, but he wrote that the Black Panther is the godfather of our generation.
So many things wrong with that statement. I'm sorry. Alright, so he's trying to compare apples, which is like the Godfather, to like, carrots, which everybody loves, but it's a vegetable. Like, you can't do